Yo, what's up? It's Pink Garbage back at it with another video, and this time we're doing something different. We're gonna be doing Panic at the Disco. Hey, look, I made it. When I first heard this song, I just really like the vibe, even though it's different from what Panic at the Disco usually does, even though they've been more pop and it's more Brendan Urie the band. But who hasn't made that joke already? So, without wasting any more time, let's break it down. So the first thing of this song is we have the synth and the piano. They both have the same notes, and this is what the synth sounds like. And it's of course from our good old friend Gimis. And also its best friend Contact. Actually, not even, I'm lying. And now its new neighbor, the FL keys, was used for the piano. Because remember, FL keys is not as garbage as it once was. And this is what the piano sounds like. Next up, we have these two claps that I layered on top of one another. This is the first one, and here's the second one. It's like supposed to be just a little muffled clap, nothing too serious. Now we have this riser that I use that's going to go into the first verse, and this is what it sounds like. For the verse, of course, we're going to notice it's just a basic kick pattern, which goes like this. Followed by that is a simple snare. And we have this bass part, which I'm so glad that I figured out. Shout out to this person who had a bass cover and actually put the tabs. It kind of forced me to learn how to transcribe bass notes into piano notes so I could learn it on do it myself and all this. Basically, thank you person that uploaded that bass cover. It really helped me and it forced me to learn a new thing about music. And I hope to use this method that I did more often. Yeah. And this is what it sounds like. So when we get to like the pre-chorus of the song, it's mostly just like strings, bass, and percussion. So for like these little crash splashes or whatever the correct drum terminology is, I used a ride and a crash for this. To get this effect, and there are two sounds layered on top of one another. Alright, so this is the crash, and this is the ride. Underneath that, we have these strings. We also have this other bit of percussion that I forgot to mention, this little like tambourine. And we have another bass line that goes like this. Then we have that riser come back in again, and it leads to the big part of the song, the chorus. Now the chorus has the same kick and snare pattern, but now we're introduced to the horn section. What I used to recreate this section were trumpets and trombones. Now, it's not going to sound super exactly like it, but it's kind of close. And this is what the trumpets sound like. And later with that is the trombone, which sounds like this. Underneath that we have a bass. And I also chopped up the little riser that we had to give like this little effect to the chorus, and it just sounds like this. Nothing too dramatic. And we also have strings, which sound like this. Just to give it like a little bit more of an effect. When we get into the second verse, we're introduced to I thought it was an organ, but I ended up using Rhodes. It just sounded better, and organ just sounded gross when I used it. I didn't like it. So this is what the Rhodes sound like. And it also uses the same bass line as the first verse, but in the second verse we're introduced to these staccato strings. And this is what it sounds like when I remake. So when we get to the pre-chorus the second time, it kind of has like this like trap hip-hop feel in a sense, but it still works in the song, I think, but it just has like a different bass line and more drums, and this is what the bass sounds like. And this is what the hats for this pre-chorus sound like. It's just simple. We're also introduced to a different kick pattern. I don't know why I drew them in instead of just doing a regular pattern like I always do, but this is what that sounds like. And aside from the riser from earlier, we also have like this little, what I call the bass drop. Even I don't know if that's the right term for it, but it sounds like this. And that just leads into the final chorus. So it uses the same elements as what we heard before, except we're also introduced to these strings. Then once the final chorus comes in, we're going back to that trap feel kind of. And there's a little difference in the hats, which sound like this. And the snare is the same. And it sounds like this. We also have these little like kind of mini snares. It just comes in for like a little section which sound like this. I think it's just to give it a more like dramatic feel for the song. And we have a different bass line for this last chorus which sounds like this. And we're also introduced to these strings which go on until the song ends. And we're also introduced to this final kick pattern, which sounds like this. And yeah, that's basically it. So how was it? Did it sound good? Did it sound bad? What can I do to make it sound better? And leave me some recommendations in the comments down below of what songs you think I should recreate or remix or sample or whatever the case may be. You can get at me anywhere on social media at either Pink Armors, if not Pink Armors Music. And here comes everything together. Oh, let's end it like every YouTuber did back in like the early 2000, like from 2005. That's when the site started. It's fucking lame. I'll see y'all.